morning and welcome to the farm today, guys. It is another snowy day. It has been snowing non-stop for 4 days now, but it's not getting a lot of snow on the ground. This is what we're calling movie snow. It falls from the sky and you can see the snow, but it doesn't build up. It's not cold enough for it to melt, but it just kind of disappears. We're gonna go out and give the girls their morning snack and change everybody's water and give the goats some crackers. Let's head outside to the coop and see how the girls' night was.
Good morning, guys. You guys super excited to be outside?
It is a really nice snowy day. It's not super cold today. I think they said it's only -6 with the wind chill. It's -12. I guess we should be really lucky that we didn't have as much snow this year as we did last year. We had snow starting in November, so this little bit here is actually a good thing. Hello, chickens. How was your night? Did you like your snack? Hi, Sarah. Some mashed potatoes, you guys. Still pretty clean in here. We did a coop clean the other day and gave the girls a bunch of new shavings and straw. I think they're much happier. Hi Sarah, are you coming to show me some eggs? She likes to eat directly out of the container. Spoiled chicken.
Do we have any eggs this morning?
Looks like there's one buried right here.
That's pretty good because it's super early this morning. We usually don't get eggs this early.
Yeah, they haven't been laying until like later in the day. So that's pretty good to have one already. I don't have anything else. That's what I have. Can I take this egg or are you going to attack it?
I think she's blocking you from taking the egg.
Oh, this one's still warm.
If we had an incubator, it'd be a perfect time to put it in the incubator.
Yeah, we could. We could just set this in there and wait a couple of days for a few more eggs and then lock them down, but we don't have an incubator yet.
We've been shopping.
We have been. We're working on it. There's so many options out there. Literally, there's hundreds of different ones. But we want a simple one, but one that's going to do all the work for us. I don't have to turn eggs every day and remember which direction they go and stuff. I need something with an automatic egg turner.
We're thinking about getting an incubator a lot sooner than we planned.
We are. We've lost 2 of our hens this week to unknown mysterious reasons. So our flock is dwindling and we want to be able to increase it for the summertime. And to do that, we need an incubator so that the girls are ready to start laying eggs come May, June instead of having to wait till August like we did this year.
And then you get 3 months worth of eggs.
And then it's winter again.
Exactly. So we got a lot of homework to do and a lot of preparation over the next few weeks. Mm-hmm. But that's a big project that's on our list.
Yes, baby chicks are definitely, I think, moving close to the top of the list right now. A treat we discovered that the girls really like is snow. So I fill up a little bucket and I put it in here for them and everybody pecks away at it. Not quite sure why they like it, but they do. I guess because it's edible water. She has a snow face now. So I know we've talked a few times about how we don't leave lights on for the chickens in the coop. We want them to have a break in the winter. But one of the things that we've been tossing around is leaving the light on. Something that could be going on with the girls is they could be getting egg bound. Now I did check them and there wasn't anything specifically that I felt was stuck, but that can be one of the causes of why we lost 2 girls in a week. So what we're going to do is we're going to try leaving the light on for 12 hours and see if that helps them. Who knows? It might make more eggs. It might just make sure that the girls don't get sick and don't get egg bound and we don't lose any more. So we're going to try it and see how it goes. So if you guys saw back in June, we bought a bunch of hay from a farmer in Nova Scotia. We bought 30 bales from them and we're still doing really good. We still have 15 bales of hay left. So for 3 goats in 7 months, we've only used 15 bales of hay. That's great. We're gonna take this into the girls. They sound very hungry. Good morning, girls. How are you? Hope you have a good night. Are you waiting for something specific? Could you smell them? Nova girl, your cracker. How was your night? Hey, was it good? It was a good night?
And I noticed their water didn't freeze last night and we were super cold.
Ah, that's because you changed it late last night.
Look at that. The water's cold, but it's not frozen, guys.
That's good.
So the combination is change the water twice a day, early in the morning, really late at night, and our insulated waters are doing the trick. Now, there's been a couple mornings where it was super frozen, but that's because we changed the water at about 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, earlier.
Last night I changed it probably 6:30ish.
I think it was 6:30 last night when
Yeah.
you changed it.
So
And
that-
they drank a lot, so
Because that was full. So they drank 3 goats. They drank almost half a bucket of water. Yes. Hello, Panda.
think you
Good
have
morning.
something.
She's like, can I eat what you have? Nova's like, what do you got? You guys already had crackers.
I'm gonna get you some pellets. You ate all your pellets. Your thing's empty.
Yes, the girls were hungry this morning.
I guess so. Let's refill their food.
And the tree,
The tree's looking sad.
the tree's been in here now a couple weeks.
Yep.
And they've pretty much cleaned it right off. I think we're going to be taking that out pretty
I think
soon.
we'll leave it another day for them, but it's pretty well done. They've stripped pretty much everything off of it. It looks really sad now.
And when we go into town, I think we're going to pick them up a treat.
Yeah, we should.
They'll like that. Something we can hang from the ceiling for them to...
Some for them to be entertained by.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they'll like that.
Hey, girls.
They're like, just feed us.
You girls
Even this
keeping...
feeder's
You
in
guys staying warm in here? We're going to be looking for a male goat this spring.
Yes, we are. We need somebody to breed with our girls so that we can get babies next year. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
At least a few.
That was the reason when we built the stalls here, that was the reason for the partition, the door here that we could close, because then the boy could have that side and the girls could have this side over here.
And that's also the reason for the wire here. I know I've got a few comments from people saying, why don't you take the wire down? You're going to hit your head on it or something. It's a pain to have to duck. But the reason it's there is so that when we shut this gate, it's a solid wall and the male goat won't be able to get through. This is cattle fencing, so they won't be able to break it. Male goats are very interested in getting to girls no matter what, and they're escape artists. So we wanted to make sure that they couldn't get into the girls when we didn't want them to be.
I guess we could have made a solid door all the way up and then had it open like a half door, I guess.
We could have, but I like that it's open between them so it feels more airy and more light gets through too, right?
More
Like,
light.
when their outside door is open, a lot of light comes in through that.
So
And then with the window,
ventilation,
too.
light,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. That was the reason why we went with the wire.
What are you doing?
I have hit my head on it a couple times.
I haven't hit it. You have.
I have.
Hi.
She's
Hi,
looking for
don't have any more
crackers.
I'm sorry.
Don't break the one egg.
No, it's not in my pocket.
It's breakfast.
Silly girl. Let's go get their food and change out their water.
Sounds good.
Lily, are we gonna come get some?
She says there's not enough room. There's already 2 heads in the bucket.
You're gonna snuff my grain? Fine, don't eat the grain. We're gonna go inside and have a coffee. I'm gonna make some cream so it's fresh.
Sounds good.
So we've made lots and lots of different kinds of breads on the homestead, but we've never made sourdough. So I'm gonna use my recipe out of the Prairie Homestead Cookbook to start my sourdough. And hopefully, in a couple of days, we'll have a nice starter to be able to make some yummy sourdough bread and maybe even some sourdough brownies, because I see that recipe in the book as well. Don't mind my pot on the stove behind me. We're making some coffee cream to go with our coffee this morning. So the recipe always starts with whole wheat flour for your start, and then when you feed your starter, you're going to feed it with regular flour. Just going to give it a good mix. We're going to let this sit with a cloth over top and a warm place on the counter for 24 hours, and then in 24 hours we're going to feed it. And the way you feed it is you add equal parts flour and water, stir it, and you let it sit another 24 hours. In 3 days you should have a good sourdough base to start making bread, pancakes, whatever you want with sourdough. So I'm going to set mine off to the side and see if it starts getting some bubbles. A fresh batch of coffee cream ready to go, nice and warm off the stove. Now, I do like to drink regular real coffee that you have to grind, but I don't have a grinder right now. So what we drink here is Nescafe instant coffee. Now, don't laugh. It is really good, and it's the only coffee that Steve actually drinks. He won't drink regular real coffee. He says it tastes like dirt.
It does. I'm not a coffee drinker.
You're not. So you like this though, with
I
the
do.
cream, but only with this cream. You won't drink it with regular store-bought coffee.
No,
because
that,
I don't blame you. 'Cause
that
that's
cream
not
that you
good.
make, that's awesome.
It is. And this will last about a week if we have coffee every day.
Let's sit down, let's have a coffee, and we got a lot of work to do today.
I'm just going to drink coffee all day.
That sounds like a good idea, actually.
It's snowing outside and it's cold.
It's been snowing for 4 days now.
That's true. That's true. Winter.
Let's have some breakfast, coffee, and let's get to work.
On it.
Getting wood on the homestead is a full-time job. You spend all day just trying to stay warm. It's something you got to do when you're homesteading. This wood has been handled so many times this year, like lots of times, from processing it, cutting it up, moving it downstairs here. But when it's minus 20 outside, it sure is nice having this wood cellar that we have downstairs. Keeps the wood dry, and I don't have to go outside when it's minus 20 and get wood. We just simply come downstairs, we grab the wood, and back upstairs. So we got ourselves 2 baskets of wood today. This should last us right up to dinner time. I might have to get a bit more for later this evening, but usually 2 baskets will last us throughout the whole day. Let's go get some of those projects done. So you guys saw in our previous video, we went into town and we picked up some supplies to convert this laundry room into another bedroom for our family. Now we thought about taking these cupboards down. We changed our mind on that. We're going to take the doors off. We're going to paint the inside and the outside to match the wall because the room's not big enough to put a huge dresser in here along with a bed. So we thought we would use the cupboards as a storage space for clothes and other items for Mr. Owen. Today we're going to be removing the washer and dryer. We're going to try and hook them up on the other side of the wall. We're going to be patching the wall some more. We got a bunch of painting to do. This project, hopefully we can have it done in the next few days, and we're going to bring you guys along as we convert this room from a laundry room to another bedroom. One door off, 3 more to go. So we've got all the cupboard doors off. We've cleaned up there. We're going to start painting here quickly, but what we have to do first is unhook the washer and dryer.
Don't mind the dust.
Don't mind the dust. Our plan is, because the washer and dryer are going on the other side of this wall, we're going to cut a hole on this side because right here is the drywall to the other side. So basically all we want to do is take all this apparatus here for the washer and dryer, the hot water, cold water, the drain pipe, and reverse it basically so it's on the other side of the wall and close this wall in. We're going to have to do the same thing with the 220 outlet. That's way down there, you guys can't see right now. We're going to turn that to the other side of this wall, and these two appliances are going to go on the other side. Now, like we talked about before, we don't use the dryer very often. It's more of a backup. We usually hang our clothes over the fireplace, and in the summertime, next year we'll have the clothesline outside installed and we'll be able to dry our clothes because it's windy here 99.9% of the time, especially in the summertime.
I'm sure the neighbors probably have laundry out right now. They hang all year long outside.
The neighbors hang their laundry when it's -6 outside, and we always laughed at his
underwear hanging outside in the freezing cold. I wouldn't want to put those on afterwards.
No.
I don't think they have a dryer because they hang everything all year.
Exactly. So this is our big job right now before we actually start painting, is to disconnect everything, get these two appliances out of here, and try and reverse everything to the other side. It's a big job. And reversing the 220 plug, we're going to have to make sure we turn off the electrical to the house.
We're good at turning off the power, so that's
are
good. We've never attempted any electrical with it on.
Exactly. But
I'm sure we'll figure it out. It shouldn't be that bad.
we were originally going to take this bump out and also this one here. There are closets on either side of these walls, but then we started to think that
that's a lot of money,
a lot of work,
and that's a lot of work,
and a lot of mess,
and it's a lot of mess, and it would take way longer to do. This way he can get in the room quicker. He doesn't need a huge room. All he does is sleep in it anyway. The kids have the downstairs to play in. He's little.
Exactly.
So it'll be fine.
It just, right now, we have to
get rid of the washer and dryer.
Do
you want to sleep with the washer and dryer?
No.
No? Are you sure? Can they stay in your room?
No.
Maybe you could do laundry while you're sleeping.
No.
All right, we'll take the bump.
Fine. It's hard to get good help these days.
I know, right?
Don't run laundry in my room.
You don't want laundry in your room?
No.
Do you want your toys in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you're sleeping, you can fold towels and your clothes while you're laying in bed. Doesn't that sound like fun?
No.
Kids these
I
days.
know, right? No work ethic.
When I was a kid, that was what I did for fun. I
You
folded laundry.
for fun? I'm sure you did.
There's your first wall you went through.
Look, it's a wall.
It's a wall. And then there's the secondary wall. You can see.
A piece of wood.
Yeah, that's all they did. They just put a piece of wood here. You can see all the piping down here for the drain for the washer. And they just nailed it actually from this side.
Yeah, I see that.
So if we pull the nails off,
We should be able to take
you'll
it.
be able to. Well, how high up does it? Oh no, there's the top right there.
Yeah, it's literally just a square.
That's it. So
That'll
we'll be
be
able
easy.
to pull that off super easy.
So they did that before they built this wall.
Correct.
Smart people. I think that's the first smart thing they've done in the house that we've uncovered.
And all we have to do is pull that piece off, and it exposes all the
Super easy.
hookups on the other side.
We could use that piece of wood and put it on the other side as a block.
It's the exact same size. It'd be better if we use the piece that we just cut right now because it needs to go around the outside of the edge with the frame that we're going to build. We'll try it.
We'll see what works.
We'll see what works. And then on this side, we have a,
There's
looks like,
2x4s on
that's
here.
not a 2x4. That looks like a 2x6.
Yeah,
That's a
I think
2x6
you're right.
frame on that side and on
And
that side. But you know what? The frame is on either side of that.
So we don't even have to frame it. We'll just need something.
The top needs to be framed up, and
You don't want to touch the bottom.
no, the bottom's fine. So
We just need a
we're
board on the top.
on the top, and then we're gonna put some trim, some baseboard trim around the edge on the outside, and that's it.
Not bad. It's not going to take as long as we thought, which is good.
Which is good. Let's keep going.
Okay. Would you like some rose wallpaper?
That's like out of the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah, 90s probably. But that's what used to be in their bathroom.
Because the laundry room used to be the bathroom.
It did, yep. There you go. You could stand over there and I could see you now. So this is our new laundry room.
Hello from the other side.
Hello from the other side. How do you like it? Oh look, they even wallpapered this wood frame here too. Crazy.
It is crazy.
It's gonna be pretty easy.
Now we got to take all this water pipe and drain pipe and somehow
figure out how to twist it.
twisty. Well, these are the old lines.
Yeah, those are the original copper pipes.
Yes.
And these are the new ones when they raised the house and built the addition.
Right, and they ran the line on the outside of the wall all the way down through the floor. So we were thinking about cutting into the drywall and pushing the lines into the wall, or we could build
2x4 you can't.
Yeah, we could build a fake wall on the outside to go over top of it.
I think that's what
Decisions. We'll be making decisions as we go along on this project, I think. One step at a time.
one step at a time. So we got a lot of work done so far. The pipes here that you see used to be on the outside of this wall. We took off this piece of drywall, we moved the pipes inside, put it back. These are now actually mounted. Before they were just sitting there with one screw in. We were able to take the cover off for the dryer. We just need to cut a hole through the drywall on the other side and put our vent out. And we need to take off our 220 outlet, pull the box out, cut a hole on the other side of the wall, turn everything around, and put that back together. So we still have a few things left to do, but we're moving along really nicely. We got a lot more done in the last few hours than I thought we were going to. Shouldn't take us long at all to get this finished.
So like you say, our next job is the 220 and the dryer vent.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do
So
next, but we have to turn off the power to do that.
Let's go do that. So as you guys can see here, we are right now moving the dryer vent from this side of the wall to the other side. Amanda's just on the other side right now, cutting a hole to bring the dryer vent through, which seems to be a success at this point.
You can see.
Can you see me? Hello from the other side.
Hello.
Hello.
On the wall.
There's a hole in the wall. So we're going to bring the white dryer vent here into that hole, attach the metal ring to it, and then we're going to be moving on to the 220 plug here and flipping it to the other side of the wall. So right now we're trying to swap the 220 plug for the dryer for a 110 plug that was on this side. I don't know why the guy put a 220 plug and a 110 plug back to back. But trying to swap the two plugs through the hole has been quite the undertaking. But we managed to get the 220 plug through to this side.
You need to make it taller still.
Yeah, we had to cut the hole bigger. Then we're going to mount the box to the 2x6 wall stud. And then we're going to have to patch it up afterwards. And on this side of the wall, you can see Amanda's now pulling the 220 through. We have the 110 box shoved up into the wall out of the way so that we could pull the 220 through. And then we're going to bring the 110 box down, mount it to this 2x6 stud here. And again, we're going to have a big hole here, which we're going to have to patch afterwards. But what a pain, guys, having to move a 110 from that side to this side and move the 220 from this side to that side. It would have been a lot easier if it was just the 220 here. We could have flipped around, but we had to deal with two junction boxes. So with that being said, we're now going to have to take the 110 on this side, put a hole on the other side so that we have an outlet for the wash machine. So a little bit more work than we were anticipating, but it's slowly starting to come together. But wow, trying to move two junction boxes, one from one side and one from the other side, not fun at all. We had no idea that it was going to come to this. So moving this electrical from one side to the other side, guys, has been a nightmare. As you guys can kind of see here, there are two nails that go through this junction box, which means we can't pull that junction box out without cutting a big hole into the drywall here. Lucky for us, we have a junction box laying around that we can install on the other side, but this one's just going to have to get filled with spackle. We managed to get the 110 plug and the box rotated from the other side to this side.
So we're working on the electrical to move the outlets for the dryer and the washer to the outside of the wall. We managed to get the dryer finally out. We had to cut a bigger hole than we wanted to get the cover plate through, because if we cut the wires to unhook it, we'd have to buy a new outlet for the dryer, and we didn't want to have to do that. So we switched those, but now there's another plug on the other side that we had to switch here for the washer to be able to plug into. But that box has 2 giant nails going all the way through it, and we can't get them out. So that box has to stay in the wall, and I have to mount a new box on this side to put the wiring here, but there's not a lot of room to move around. There's a water pipe here, which is the drain for the washer. There's like 5 different electrical lines running everywhere. There's wood right here, so I can't put this box in there. So it's been fun.
And of course, our viewers will probably say, why don't you just hire a professional to do this?
Because they're really expensive.
And we're on a tight budget.
Exactly.
We have done lots of electrical in the past, but
yeah,
the way the previous homeowner put all this together when he put the extension onto the house, well, he put the 220 back to back with a 110, which made it hard to swap the 2 boxes. And then he put 2 nails through that box all the way through, so we can't get that box out to use it.
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to put nails all the way through a box anyway.
Not all the way through a box.
All the way from one side to the other, 2 giant nails.
No.
He's lucky he didn't hit the electrical wires.
And then ground the wires to the nail.
Burn the house down or something.
Oh, this has been a nightmare. I don't even know if we'll get this finished this afternoon, just the electrical. Started off good this morning, and then it turned into a complete chaotic nightmare.
It did, but we'll get there. I just
Eventually.
need to make a few adjustments.
You mean cut bigger holes in the wall?
Basically.
So we got the electrical box mounted in the hole. Amanda's just tightening up the electrical outlet after we hooked up the wires. Wow, guys, this project is not going as planned. In our pre-planning stages, converting the laundry room to a bedroom, we had no idea that we were going to have to come across this. We were hoping to just have the existing electrical on this side, which was way over here, for the washer, and put the 220 beside it on the other side of the stud. Not looking at it close enough, realizing that both boxes were back to back. So now we've had to cut a new hole here, put a new box in, and on the other side, the old electrical's there. We need to put a new plug in there because that plug's old and we're already in there, so we might as well install a new plug so that we still have electrical on that wall on the other side for the bedroom. But boy, when you get into a project like this, guys, things never go as planned. And it is frustrating. So we just figured out that we actually could disconnect these wires from the actual plug. We thought that they went in and they were a one-time use where you actually had to cut the wires and buy a new faceplate. So I just wanted to show you guys that there's some screws in there and we were able to disconnect it. So we're disconnecting it right now. We need to clean out the box, and then we're going to reconnect the wires and mount the box against the stud in the wall, and then hopefully everything will work fine. Keyword is hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, we got the power back on. We have the 220 installed on this side and the outlet for the washer installed on this side. We've patched around the edges because we had some huge holes there, as you guys saw. We just need to bring the dryer vent through here that we just recently cut a hole for. And on the other side, we've installed the plug on this side, which is across from the 220. We've patched all around. Now I'm expecting this patch to probably shrink and crack, and we're going to have to patch it again before we paint this room. This is where the outlet originally was. What we did was to fill the outlet box, we shoved newspaper inside there to fill the hole, and then cut a thin piece of drywall, shoved it in there, and then put some spackle over top of it. Again, I can see it already starting to crack up the sides there a little bit. We're going to have to let this dry and then repatch it again. We've made a lot of progress today, but we still have a lot more work to do. As you guys can see, here's the dryer vent that came out this side originally. We got to feed this all in that side and then put drywall over this hole, patch that. Need to patch the corners. We have to cut the drywall here and then cut a piece to fill this hole here, which will be the back side of the plumbing for the washer. It's a lot of work, but we're getting there slowly.
Slowly. A few hiccups here and there.
Few hiccups. And then we have some other issues that we're going to be working on. The previous owner installed a light switch here, and as you guys can see, it's crooked. Who installs a crooked light switch? Which means the electrical box inside was mounted crooked, which we're going to have to take the faceplate off and rebalance the electrical box. This had a thermostat here for electrical heat. There is no electrical baseboard in here anymore, so we're going to be taking this off, capping the wires, putting electrical tape around it, putting them into the wall, and then filling this over also.
We got a lot done today, and it was a lot to do. As you can see, the holes that were in the wall are patched. We have drywall in them. The outlet is now just a regular outlet, where the dryer one is in the hallway. This was a lot of work. We'll take you to the outside and we'll show you what we had to do over there. You are now staring at our new laundry room. This was originally advertised as a den when we bought the house, but as you can see, it is just a hallway. We've moved the 220 outlet to this wall for the dryer. We've moved the dryer vent to this side, and we've switched over all the plumbing. We still have some patching, some painting, and some trim work to do, but for now, this is as good as we go today. There's a lot more stuff to do, and that's gonna have to go tomorrow. We're gonna go outside and give the animals an afternoon snack and check on them and see how the rest of their day was. Hello, chickens. I brought you an afternoon treat. Some grain. Yeah, do you want this? Some grain. They pick through and they eat everything but the barley. They eat the barley last. They're not barley fans. Should we see if there's an egg? We had one this morning.
Got any more eggs? What do we got going on here? Oh,
You got one over there?
I got one right here. But you know what?
Is it cold?
It's cold.
They laid it this morning then.
Yeah.
That's two today, I guess.
That's two. That's good. But if we
last
had
few
the
days.
incubator, we would not be able to use that
Not
egg
this one.
because
It got
it's
too
cold.
Yeah.
So if we plan on hatching out any baby chicks this winter, we're going to have to be on these guys the minute they lay the eggs, get it right in the house and in the incubator before the egg gets cold.
Yeah. I threw it all in the dish.
And of course, Sarah's back.
I'm sorry. It's all over there. I got nothing. Yeah, I took your egg. I know.
She's like, you took my egg.
I did. Get back there. The food's over there.
Well, I just topped up their water. We gave them a treat. We're going to leave this light on a few more hours.
Yeah. We're going to leave it till 8 so that
It's
they had 12 hours.
Yeah, it's about dinner time right now. And just before we head to bed, we're going to turn off the light. We're going to do this for the next few days. We're going to see if our egg production goes up and see if it helps with the girls. Because, like I said, we don't know what happened to the two chickens that we recently lost.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that they're not having a problem.
Being egg bound.
That's right.
Which could be from not having enough light, not laying enough eggs. So we're just going to try whatever we can to make sure the girls stay happy and healthy. And if leaving a light on helps, then it's worth a shot. But we're
Process of elimination.
Yeah, and these lights don't get hot. These are LED lights, so they don't give off any heat or anything, so there's no fire risk for them.
Exactly. Well, let's go check on the goats and let's see how they're doing and top up their water and give them a
Let's
snack.
give them some warm water, and I have some corn and grain for them too.
Sounds good.
Hello, Liz. How was your day? Do you like a treat? They definitely like their afternoon treat. We're going to change out their water for some warm water.
Give them a little bit of corn.
Give 'em
They
some
love corn.
Panda wants the grain underneath. Nova will eat it all.
It's who can eat it the fastest.
Here, come eat it over here. There. It's all up my sweater now.
No grain for you, Lily? You just hanging out in the background?
It's empty. The girls are going to have a snack. We're going to get them tucked in and head inside. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today, guys. We'll see you in the next video. As always, thanks for watching.